don't oversell. I'm afraid I haven't got a pretty diagram to run through on this, but it's such an important point, and it's something that took me ages to get right. So, with an automation agency, or in fact anything that you're doing to generate business, one of the main things to not do is to oversell. So, one of the things that I found on a sales call, I would be running them through what this automation would look like, and they're like, "Oh, we could add this, we could add that, we could do this, we could do that. Like, there's so many opportunities." Da 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 da. And by the end of the call, either the client was confused out of their mind, or it was the case that they just genuinely were expecting the world. And I just kind of told them that I'd get them that. In fact, let me turn the lights on. Hold on, let me see my face better. Um, I literally would tell them that that's what I was going to offer and build this product out and scope it out. So I've got a couple of solutions for you. You'll be pleased to know. So, in fact, let me see if I can draw. I've damaged my hand and I've put some tape on my finger, so I stop using it because I keep hurting myself. Um, and I'm incapable of stopping work. So, how do I do drawing on this? Can I freehand draw? I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, we'll type. It's fine by me. I've actually. Okay, fine. Okay, so the first thing is if you've got packages. See if I can now move it. Oh, yeah, awesome. If we've got packages, then it's dead easy to do because you are basically going to sell what it is that you sell every single day. And the benefit of this is if your package has got enough features, don't take that the wrong way, then you will end up building a product that you can sell the benefits of. So that's really, really vague. I apologize. So we have a load of different products, which we have like in bundles, and that's where we make most of our money, to be completely transparent with you. So let's say we're doing the marketing package. So people come to us and be like, "Oh, we're looking at automating our LinkedIn posting." I'm like, "Excellent, yeah, that's really good, really valuable." Da, 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 da. We we can build you one and it's custom, that's fine, like, if you wanna go down that route. But we have actually built, like, 15 of these, and we packaged them together into, like, one bundle. So then people can, like, get all of it, and it will be cheaper than me just building you the one. Is that something you'd be interested in? Oh, yeah, go on then. What does that include? And then you do a really high level overview. So like, oh well, basically the tool is it's going to manage and post on all of your social media accounts, manage the engagement, manage everything, so that you can grow a social media account or whatever platform it is without having to sink loads of time into it. Because I know that's what you're doing. AI uses relevant topics. You can prompt it in different ways. It's trained on your company. It's like really great for kind of like doing all of the engagement. We are also using images, not necessarily the AI rubbish ones. We're using our own. Da, 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 da. And then they go, awesome, that sounds great. And then they'll start asking questions, but they'll ask questions about stuff that's important to them. It's like, oh, well, I normally post in this style. Is like, will that be okay? And then you can narrow down into the fact it uses your images, it studies previous posts. You can build templates that you can insert stuff into, and like stuff like that. That's just like full picture around it. Um, you can be really clever with it. And basically, then they sell themselves. So that product, instead of being like a generic, this is a posting tool that will manage your social media. It's no longer a posting tool. It's a tool that covers all of these bits individually and is exactly what they want out of it, if that makes sense. So it's like selling a car. You don't walk in and say, like, oh, I'm interested in this car. You don't sit there and go, "Oh, well, it's got a sunroof, it's got a heated steering wheel." You kind of dig it out of them. Like, what is it that you want out of that? Well, do you know what? I just want a boot that I can press a button and it opens. Brilliant, we've got that. If you were to sit there and go through the whole list of things, they're just going to be so overwhelmed with stuff that they don't want, and it feels like a generic off-the-shelf product. Whereas if you turn around and be like, "I know exactly which car you need," and walk them over to it and go, "Yeah, you wanted it in white. You wanted the boot that opens. Ta-da! That car is now made for them. Like it still has a heated steering wheel, it still has a sunroof, it still has everything. But you can basically oversell the things that they want, and then they're like, bloody hell, this is exactly what I needed. I hope that makes sense. Our next one. Let's see if I can God, I'm getting good at this thing. Miro boarding. Miro boarding. That's like waterboarding. Um, okay, what's my next one? Like just simply sell what you can do. I'm just gonna make that a bit smaller. Oh, bloody hell, a lot smaller. Okay, sell what you can do. That's gonna really upset me, sorry. There we go. Okay, sell what you can do. So that's a case of actually, like, don't overpromise. So it's that simple. Be okay with the fact that some people are going to say no, and that you don't need to like overpromise and underdeliver. Like, just get them what, like, okay, look, this is what it's going to do. You've asked for this. Then don't go down the rabbit hole of you could do this, you could do that. Like, just say this is what you get. This is what the product is. This is how we're going to build it. It's going to integrate with these tools as requested, and then deliver on that. The other thing, which in fact this should really be a separate point, but I'll do it now anyway, is getting it in black and white. So getting a document over and being like, this is what I'm going to build for you. And that's it. Sorted, problem solved. When you go too complicated with it, and like you promise all of these things, still having it in black and white of what they're getting as deliverables is like a safety net. It's not a solution. You will still fall, but the safety net will catch you because you can be like, look, this is what we agreed. If you want any of those extra bits, I can do it. It's just going to cost a bit more. Is that okay? And to be honest with you, most clients are okay with that. I've actually never had a client not pay us that second bit. The second part of the thing, when we've turned around and said, look, I'm really sorry, what you want's out of scope. They will either go for it, they'll be like, okay, fine, well, we'll test it as it is for now. Just handle it properly. You don't want to be like, well, on the contract it says me, 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 me. You'll just pay them off and they won't be happy with it. So that's one to think about. And then the next one is, oh, I didn't want that. In fact, let's not call it overpromise. Phases. I didn't know if that would work when I'm also talking to you. Okay, so phases. So that's the case of turning around and saying, okay, brilliant. Look, this is what it's going to do. This is going to be the end picture. We're going to build that in phases. Phase one is going to cost X and it's going to do Y. And you just run them through what that actual phase looks like, what that process looks like. And then when they come around and say, like, when the scope creep starts, which it will at some point, and they turn around and say, okay, well, I want to, that's great. However, I want to do X, Y, and Z as well. Can we add in this? Be really good if we have that. You go, yes, absolutely. That's a brilliant idea. I can't recommend that enough. I think we add that into phase two. What do you think? And then you get this list and build out phase two and build it out and build it out. And then you can almost always charge more for phase two because you've got them excited. They've got phase one and they can see the value of it and you can kind of like build it out from there basically. So the phase two is an extremely valuable point. And then it's like that price point. And then you can do the same for phase three when they're sending you requests over. Oh, can we tweak this? Can we change that? Can we do this? Absolutely. If it's like little tweaks and just do it, you'll keep them sweet, trust me. And then phase four comes. And then by the end of phase four, there's phase five, or it'll be a new project, or just basically get them used to having you there and building things for them because then it'll make your life a hell of a lot easier. Really, that's the kind of three that I would normally start with. Technically four because I've added another, I think, black and white on there. But the main thing is, in an ideal world, you just don't oversell it. I found that overselling it massively helped with my close rate. This industry is a particularly low close rate. That's not an excuse if you're not closing at 50%. Well, 100% you can do better. But there are going to be people that just don't get it, don't see the value. It's not like we're selling life change. Well, we are selling life changing stuff, and that's kind of a bit of a belief that you're going to have to get yourself into because if you don't believe that what you're building and making is life changing, why should they? Like, genuinely, why should they? But sell with it. These processes are really valuable, and actually, you can not oversell by having a really good pain point that you're pushing on. I know that sounds really bizarre, but if you find that they're spending 70 hours a week doing X, Y, and Z, We've got 4 full-time people doing it, and they're sick of it. It would be really good to kind of go in and basically pick that pain point over the fact you've got a package of whatever, or, oh, well, we could do this tool. I think that would be cool. They don't care. Solve their biggest problem and you will get the biggest payoff. Like, it's as simple as that. It will be much easier to sell. It will be like, I don't know how to describe it. If you get the pain point right, none of this matters because you'll still be able to massively over deliver on their problem with delivering the exact same solution as you would normally. So let's say I've got a team of 4 closers and a team of 7 setters, and you're coming in to automate my setting process. So AI is going to pick up the phone and book these meetings without having to have a real human there, which we have tested. It didn't really work. But you're going to do it, and it's going to be way better than what I did. That is more painful for me than it is where somebody's got 1 closer and 1 setter, because I've got 7 headaches that message me every morning, and I have to manage, and I have to make sure that they're there, and I have to make sure they've got a phone number, and I have to make sure that they get paid, and all of these other things that come into it. Just like keep going and keep going on it. So that's more painful to me. And it might be the case that I've had a crap day and one of the guys has left and one of the other guys has been whining at me and like whatever it is, and then it's more of a pain point. And that might be a case that like, and this is why we always push for one call close, is because you build that pain up and it's like, oh well, how long are you spending managing your team? Wow, really? Okay. And do you not think there's better things you could be doing with that time? Oh, shit, I'd be love to be doing literally anything else. It's like, have you thought about hiring a manager for them? But I guess that's really expensive. What would that cost you? Like 4 grand a month, or 3 grand a month, 2 grand a month, whatever it is. Yeah, it's not cost effective. It doesn't take a like. It's something I need to do and da 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 da. Get them to kind of go into the pain and be like, oh right, okay. So this is really vital. Like, if you were to scale it, would it need more of your time? And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, well, you can infinitely scale this with us, and it will take no extra time. You can do this, and da, 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 da. And then all of a sudden it's just like go through the process and make them realize that they're in pain with those processes. And then that's where you're kind of overselling. You're over delivering, over providing on the like solving the pain that you've made. So it's like it's like providing services where you fill people's holes in. And God, I keep making very bizarre things today. So there's this big hole that you're going to fill for them. However, you're basically like in there with a spade, like touching the sides of it and being like, "Oh yeah, this is bad, isn't it?" As it's like falling in more and the hole's getting bigger. You go, "Well, do you know, like, there's literally no way. You've got no soil. How are you going to fill this hole in?" And then it's like, "Oh well, don't worry, we can do that." And there you go. Like you're making it worse. People talk about it, and I'm probably rambling on and covering stuff that's also I've covered in the sales video. But you want to build a bridge. I still can't draw, but let's see if we can build a box bridge. That'll be cool. So what you want to do, you can go away now. Thank you. Is they're here, and life's pretty miserable and painful. And they want to be over here because this one's like taller and better and there's like more stuff on it. And this might be 10k a month or it might be a million a month or whatever their pain point is. And they're there. And you're like, well, how are you going to get to here? Like, I don't think I can draw a stick person. But let's just draw an equivalent of a stick person. Oh my god, there's a stick person. What do you mean? Oh, what to upgrade? I haven't paid for this. Well, let's just use something else. Fine. It's going to be like, this is our person. Uh, they're there. They want to be over here. How are they going to get there? Like, genuinely, how? Can they get there on their own? Realistically, yes. But more realistically, they're going to stay here because it's too painful to go all the way down here and then just go all the way along and then climb all the way up here to only realise that in fact there's a bigger one here, which is like just our whole human existence. But that's a story for another day. Let me put him back over here. So you want to highlight the fact that like this is here, and actually this is like more like over here. Maybe it's even all the way over here, and it's like, well, how are you going to get there? And you almost like make this gap bigger. It's like just ever expanding that pain point and the gap of like you want to be here. And this goes for literally like CRMs. Fundamental things like that is like, okay, well, you're stuck on this CRM pillar and you could be on this one where it's automated and amazing. And then there's a couple of things you can do. You can make it like wider, you can make it bigger, like you can get them to imagine their view from stood up here instead of over there. Obviously, don't ask them what the view is, but like it's the same kind of process. And then you are going to come in and build them that bridge. This is gone terrible. In fact, I should do that. We're going to build this bridge across for them, and then your thing becomes that solution. And then now they can just walk straight across because they've bought your solution. And now they're in this dream endpoint, and that's what you're trying to sell. And obviously, the bigger you can make that bridge and the bigger you can make that gap, the more value it is to them. So you can forget about overselling the products because you can just come in and do that, if that makes sense. But anyway, I hope that was helpful and I haven't rambled on for too long. But don't oversell it. You're gonna you have to pick your difficult. You can either have a difficult sales call and an easy delivery, or you can do a bit of both. I found myself making sales calls easier because I'd overpromise, and then the team would be like, "Well, how the hell are we going to build that?" And we had projects that cost us money because I'd said, "Oh, well, we could just add this in as well, and just add that in." And then it came to the price bit, and I was like, "I can't really say 7 grand here because I think they'll run away." So let's go for 3, which is originally what I was thinking from the first conversation, and we'll just throw those extra features in. And those extra features actually took 4 times longer than the first bit. But I kind of said they'd get that, and it's now we need to do that. And you get this sinking feeling when they say yes. It's like bloody hell, how the hell am I going to do that? So yeah, hope that's helpful, and I'll see you all later.